Hi, everybody. Surprise. I know y'all is not used to seeing me on these nights, but y'all know I am so invested in this P. Diddy case. So I'm like, I got to start going live every day after the court case because this mess has been off the chain. So I said that I'm going to start doing a recap every day after the P Diddy trial, just to let y'all know, because like I said before, it's not televised. So I watch the transcripts all day from like 8:30 in the morning until we go off to about 1 or 2. I'm watching the transcripts while I'm at work, what's going on in court. So I can let y'all know what's going on because this trial has been crazy. I talked about a little bit of it last night. Um, what's been going on. The first day they talked to one of the SEX workers, and he said that Cassie was the one that would set everything up, and she was the one that asked him to urinate in her mouth. It wasn't P. Diddy. The next day they talked to Cassie, and she just went over everything in her words, what was going on, how she felt about Diddy, X, Y, and Z. Yesterday she talked about just the freak offs and how she would how long they would last. Sometimes it could last from a couple of hours to 4 days. She would have sex with multiple men that day. Sometimes, well, a lot of times she would have reoccurring UTIs, and she still had to do the freak offs no matter how bad her UTI was. And anybody that has had a UTI before knows how painful that is. She still had to do them even if she was on her monthly cycle, all that. And then she talked about the abuse she had. She talked about how he used to beat her so bad. She said that she told him he was like Ike Turner to her. So yesterday, the first day, I will say that Diddy's team won. The second day, it was like, it could go either way. Yesterday, Cassie's they won. The government, they won, because that had me mad yesterday when Cassie was saying everything that went on. But today, I will say Diddy's defense team won, hands down. And I'm not going to be biased about this, because even though yesterday I made that video saying how much I despise Diddy and he is the devil, I'm going to try to be biased on this and go from there. But just to know that she had, yes, Alondra, UTI is no joke. And so just think, you guys, having a UTI and then you still got to have SEX, that ain't no joke at all. Get out of here, please. So I'm just going to get into everything that happened. Close the door. Thank you, sir. Like I said, today, Diddy's defense team, they did a good job at painting the picture. So today, May 15th, they cross-examined Cassie. So they painted the picture of Diddy's lifestyle, of him not making her do these freak offs, but him basically having a swinger lifestyle. But to me, yeah, I would say he did have a swinger lifestyle, but on 1,000, no, on 1,000,000. A swinger's lifestyle on 1,000,000. So they painted that picture very good today. I wrote like 2.5 pages of notes. So they showed text message between Cassie and P. Diddy where she was saying that she could not wait to have the F offs. These text messages are going all the way back to 2006 from her Blackberry. She's saying that she cannot wait to have the F offs. They're so much fun. She can't wait. All kind of stuff. How much she loved Diddy, and she would fly anywhere to be with him. He's texting her back, said he loved her so much that he could cry. So they painted a very good picture today, making it seem like Cassie was with it. She wasn't made to do none of this stuff because a lot of time, oh, let me see. Hold on. She said, hello, sis. Mommy is over here, hot as fish grease about this case and is upset with Cassie. Why is she upset with Cassie? Let me know. So she upset with Cassie and not P. Diddy. So let me know. So let me read some of my notes. So it said they showed messages between the two talking about the freak offs, and she was also asking for pills. That was another big thing that they put out there, that they were addicts. Both of them were addicts. Both of them stayed high out of their mind. Both of them. Not just her, but her and him. And they made the picture as if when he was coming down off of his high, that's when he would fight her. That's when he would fight her. So both of them were addicts. Both of them were addicts. The defense team wants to show that there was nothing about the freak offs between them that made her have to do it. She was a willing worker, and they did a very good job of that. Like I said, they showed text messages of her saying that she wanted to do it. She was not calling the people. She was setting it up. Like I said yesterday, they put ads out on Craigslist, Backdoor, and they had a website that they would go to called Cowboys and Angels. And I told you guys, I looked the website up. It's still there, and they're listed as companions. And as companions, they charge $7.50 an hour, and their weekly rate was $7.50. And the first SEX worker that came out said that sometimes they would be there up to 4 days, and he would get paid like $6,000. But also, they said that if you could not keep your thing up, or if you did not do the happy ending, you were deducted in your pay. So Cassie was the one that was contacting all the people for the freak offs. P. Diddy never did none of that. She was the one that called these people and knew them on a first name basis, especially a SEX worker named Jules. You'll hear his name a lot in the trial, but they dealt with him a lot. But she was the one that set up everything. She set up everything. He never did anything. And like I said, sometimes she would text him and say that she wanted to have one and she can't wait to have him with him. But yesterday she said she would only just say that because that was the only time she could spend one-on-one time with him, which I don't understand that, because he was making her, well, not making her, she was having relations with up to 4 men in those freak offs. So say if the freak off lasts for about 9 hours, she could possibly have SEX with 4 to 5 men in that time frame. But within that time frame, she would have her one-on-one time with P. Diddy, where she talked about how the man's private parts looked and if she liked it and all that. Sickening. This, after hearing this case, I swear to God, it made the R. Kelly case, R. Kelly look like, I don't want to say a priest or nothing, because but it made him look childish compared to P. Diddy and this thing. Like, it's crazy. Let me read some of the comments before I go in. Yes, she was saying all that stuff because she felt like she had to, plus she was high as a kite. That's what she said she was saying, but sometimes she wasn't even with him and she was texting him telling him she wanted to have one and she couldn't wait to do all this. So it's like, at this point, you really don't know. Were you just saying this because you wanted to spend time with him? But I'm gonna get more into it. Well, if he was an addict and that was why he did all that, how come she was knocking his head? How come I guess you meant he was knocking her head in between the washer and dryer. Okay, we'll get into that too. He was high on that, but she was too. He said that no, she said that he did not want her doing drugs with nobody else but him. So he only wanted her doing it with him. He would get mad when she would do it with other people. He only wanted her to do it with him. So when she got those gashes and all that, like that last one, it was because she was in the house doing it with her friend. Anytime he found out she was doing it with somebody else, he got an attitude about that too. So I don't know. Yes, she says she has a husband and is having a baby. She feels it's a money grab. Yeah, mommy, but I'm gonna have mom. You're gonna have to start listening every day because if you would have heard yesterday, you would have felt different. Because I felt that same way at first too. When the case first came out and she got the money, I felt like it was a money grab also until I heard all this. I still do now. Hearing today's, it made me be on the fence, but I still feel like Diddy was out of pocket for what he did. But now today, I feel like she was low key a willing worker, but he still was wrong for doing her the way he did. He didn't have to beat that girl up the way he did. Drugs or not. And they said she would start a lot of things. She said she was very jealous. She was jealous of Kim Porter. They asked her that today. Was she jealous of Kim Porter? And she said yes. She was jealous of Kim Porter because he spent his holidays and stuff with her. Yes, she'll spend like New Year's Eve parties and stuff with Diddy, but Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that, he was with Kim Porter. So she said she was jealous of her because she felt like she thought she was number one, but basically Kim Porter was still number one, even though he wasn't with her. And to me, it seemed like Cassie was his playgirl that he could do all his nasty stuff with, and then he would go to Kim Porter afterwards. But we all know he was still with Cassie. She was still pretty, so she was still eye candy and everything. I think that's what it was. Um, ain't all the money grabs in the world worth what kind of torture? No, it ain't that much. That's why I said for what she went through, 20 million wasn't enough. I don't care. 20 million wasn't enough. But I'm gonna get into what all she was doing because it made me side-eye her a little bit today. Yesterday I was all on her side, crying and everything. Today I was almost like, ooh, Cassie girl, I don't know. I don't know. Like it made me look different at you today. Yesterday I was on your side. Today I'm still low-key on your side, but I'm still like, okay, you was kind of with it. You was kind of with it. You was with it. Let me see what she said right here. Right, a willing worker. I'm telling y'all. Okay, so let me get to some more of the notes. She sent text saying, "I'm always ready for a freak off." Text him from 2008. I miss you so much. I'll fly wherever. Combs saying, "I love you so much. It makes me want to cry." She said in the early part of their relationship that having the male escorts around felt right to her. It felt right. It didn't feel wrong. She felt like this was just the next level to their sex life. So she didn't feel like nothing was wrong with it until it just kept going on and on. And then she said she started to feel dirty and grimy. So they asked her, so you were a willing participant at the beginning of the freak offs. You were a willing participant. And she said yes, because that was her boyfriend and she wanted to make him happy. And she just felt like that was part of their relationship doing that. And like a lot of people are swingers and they're happy in their relationship. They do that all the time and nobody has a problem with it. That's just their lifestyle. And P. Diddy introduced her to this lifestyle very early in their relationship. He told her, she said about 6 months in, but before he actually had her, well, not had her do it, before they actually did it, he started having her take drugs and he would have her just try stuff. So they did drugs always together. But then once the freak off started, they would really be high. And she said that made her feel better because she can block out everything. So she said after a while, she started feeling grimy and dirty and just felt like an object to his fantasy. Like maybe he does not care about me. Maybe this is just a nasty fantasy that he has and I'm just playing the role in it. Maybe he does not care about me. But she felt like she said she felt like she had to do it because if she didn't, he would get somebody else to do it. And she didn't want nobody else to do it with him. So she also said she was dissatisfied that after she started doing the freak offs with him, that they were not a couple publicly, going back to her being jealous of Kim Porter. So that would make her want to do things more because she wanted to be number one. She wanted to be number one. Like I said, they characterized Diddy's lifestyle as a swinger lifestyle. And to me, it really was a swinger lifestyle on steroids. In contrast to what the government was saying yesterday, they asked her what was his drug of choice, and she said Molly or ecstasy. That was his drug of choice, and he had it on deck at all times. They were also going through texts, and that's how P. Diddy found out about Kid Cudi. They talked about that yesterday. She had started dating Kid Cudi. She was introduced to Kid Cudi by P. Diddy, and he was supposed to do studio sessions with her. So that's how she met Kid Cudi, through P. Diddy. Then they started dating when she said, quote unquote, her and Diddy were taking a break. But while she was dating Kid Cudi, she was still doing freak offs with Diddy. So you taking a break from Diddy, you saying that y'all on a break, but you still doing the freak offs with him because you're saying that you think it's considered a job, and you didn't know if P. Diddy felt like he was taking a break from you. So you still have to do the freak off. So while they in the middle of a freak off, P. Diddy went through her phone and went through her emails, and that's how he found out she was messing with Kid Cudi. Got a wine opener with the little sharp edges and chunked it at her. It missed, but he chunked it at her. So that's how he found out about Kid Cudi. She left him alone for a little bit and was with Kid Cudi, was staying with him, and then she broke it off with Kid Cudi because she said it was too dangerous and she didn't know what he would do to her or Kid Cudi. So they ended up having a meeting with P. Diddy, her, Kid Cudi, and Diddy, and talking about the situation. Kid Cudi was like, "What about my car?" And he was like, "What car?" That day he blew up Kid Cudi's car, and Cassie left Kid Cudi alone. So, and then she went back to Diddy. That's why I was saying yesterday, I don't understand, but I've never been a domestic a DV survivor. So I don't want y'all to be on my head or nothing. I don't understand, if you have a chance to get away, why do you go back? Because when she was with Kid Cudi, she was at her parents' house. She didn't have to go back to Diddy. She just went back to him because she was like, that's all she knew. So I don't understand, if somebody is beating your ass like that, why do you go back when you could have stayed away? I don't understand that. So I really want somebody to come on my podcast one day and explain to me, why do you go back when you actually got away? It could be away. Why would you go back? So she went back to him after that. But after that, P. Diddy always brought up her messing with Kid Cudi, and it would cause confusion all the time because he always brought it up. It didn't matter that he was messing with other women too. So she just couldn't do anything, but he could. So let me see another thing. Another time she took a break from, hold on, let me see, Alondra said he groomed her. And I do feel like he groomed her too. You go back because you're still in love, as dysfunctional as it sounds. Okay, and she did say she was in love, and she was like, that's all she knew. Like, she was like, you can't just cut off somebody that you love that easily. Like, if after you've been with them that long, you can't just cut them off. So I just don't understand it. When somebody's beating you like Tina Turner, you go back. But some people would say it was because the lifestyle that she had. Like, you were dating a billionaire. So she would date with other people in the music industry, but then she would go back to him. Always went back to him. It's a form of codependency and sometimes low self-esteem. And I do, after watching her yesterday on Everything I Love, I feel like her self-esteem is very low. And she's a very beautiful girl. But I think he broke her all the way down. I think her self-esteem is very low. Just like people go back to cheaters. I guess so. I guess so. So she said that she went back to him, but like I said, he would always bring up Kid Cudi. He would always bring up Kid Cudi. So one time she went to South Africa to film Honey Part 3 or whatever. And somebody sent her videos and pictures of him with another Jane Doe, which now we know is Gina. Gina, if y'all don't know who she is, she went on Tasha Kaylee show to talk about how P. Diddy used to beat her A. Gina went on, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before that. She went on Tasha K to talk about how P. Diddy used to beat her A. One time she said she was pregnant and he beat her so bad that she had a miscarriage. And she would still mess with him. She still will mess with him. So Cassie found out about Gina because that was an off and on relationship too. And when she found out about Gina, she got mad and she cut him off again. She cut Diddy off again because, like I said, she always felt like she was number one. She was number one. But she didn't want him messing with nobody, just like he didn't want her messing with nobody. So when she found out about Gina, she cut him off, blocked him and everything. And y'all, guess who she started messing with? Girl, I was at my desk at work like, what the F? What the hell? She started messing with Michael B. Jordan. That was a wild card for me, y'all. That was a wild card. She started messing with Michael B. Jordan like nobody. How did they keep that a secret? So she started messing with Michael B. Jordan. This is another question that I have that I don't understand either. If y'all would have watched yesterday's, she was saying how she had to have sex with all these men and her stuff would be hurting from UTIs and she had sores in her mouth. And how do you get in a relationship with somebody else and have intimate relationships with them? Like, to me, I would feel like I would not want to even do that no more. Like, that would be the last thing on my mind. I don't understand that part either. Like, how is she able to deal with another person and be in a relationship with them and have relations with them? Like, I don't understand that part either. That part to me is wild, is wild. So could somebody explain that to me too? Like, how are y'all able to do that? This man is abusing you and you're saying that he's making you have sex with all these men, but then you can have relationships and have sexual intercourse with other people. Or do y'all think it was because she still was high all the time? Because she said she was on drugs the whole time of their relationship, like the whole time. But yeah, y'all, she said she was messing with Michael B. Jordan. I was like, what? So, like I said, she said Diddy would get mad if she did drugs with anybody else. The defense brought up a time, y'all. This was another thing that we didn't know. The defense brought up a time when Diddy overdosed on opiates while at the Playboy Mansion in 2012, y'all. He overdosed there, had to be airlifted to the hospital because he overdosed at the Playboy Mansion. I'm telling y'all, this case is wild. Because I also said about the Playboy Mansion, like, wasn't Hugh Hefner doing the same thing? And he was praised for all the stuff he was doing. I don't think nobody was nasty as P. Diddy because he nasty. All the stuff that they doing is just wild. Beyond, I don't even know what you would call it. It's beyond freaky. Like, I don't even know what word you would call this. It's past a fetish and a fantasy. Like, it's gross to me. Like, it's gross. So he overdosed at the Playboy Mansion. After that, they went to Mexico to get a detox. It was actually a plant detox, and they said it was illegal in the United States, but they were taking that detox medication, and it actually worked. It worked temporarily though, because they went back to it. But she said the detox actually helped them get clean temporarily. Then they went back. Let me read some of the comments. Um, this is enough to turn you gay or something. I'm telling you. To turn you gay or something. I mean, I would want to see another pickle for the rest of my life. That's what I'm saying. Like, after you go through all this trauma and your stuff, like, I know her stuff gotta look wore out. Unless she had that surgery. Unless she had that surgery that make your stuff look back intact and all that. I know her stuff look wore out, and I would not want to touch nothing. I would have had enough for the rest of my life. Like, it would be turned off for the rest of my life. I don't think that I would be able to do nothing. Yup, Hugh Hefner had murder connections to him and a free man. And I say that all the time, even when they was saying that about the R. Kelly case. I was like, how come they never did this to Hugh Hefner? Like, it's the same exact thing. We know Hugh Hefner was messing with y'all. He said that they had to be over 18, but this is the same thing. Cassie was over 18. He paid them girls to be his girlfriends and everything. It's the same thing. What's the difference? We just don't really know what went on in that Playboy Mansion, just like we didn't know what was going on between Cassie and Diddy. They would be at Met Galas and everything looking like top dollar, not knowing that she bruised up under there and everything. So why is this? I honestly feel like P. Diddy pissed somebody off in the higher powers. And that's why he's where he's at now. Because I think they could have hid the lawsuit from Cassie and everything. I think they could have hid all that coming out. And Cassie did say that she only got paid $20 million, that she did ask for 30, but she got the $20 million in 24 hours. She said she got that because she said she wrote a book and she said she really didn't want to put it out. She just was writing the book so he could understand how she felt and how he made her feel. I still feel like that girl loved him, but I do feel like she was a willing worker now. Like it, and it still was not right. It still wasn't right what he did. He didn't have to beat up that girl like that. It don't matter how much drugs she was on. And a lot of people were saying too, she started stuff. Like she would provoke him to do things. That was said a lot too. So she also said, y'all, that it was no drugs in that baby oil. She said it was never any drugs in that baby oil. Never. And I looked up GHB. That's the date rape drug. I looked it up myself to see what it was. Like, is it in liquid form? Is it powder form or whatever? And so when I looked it up, it said that it is mostly consumed in liquid form, but often mixed with drinks like water, or juice, or alcohol. But it also can be in a powder or crystal form that can dissolve in liquid for ingestion. So to me, this is what they were saying. It had to be, if it was. I'm not saying it is because I would have to do a science project on this. They had the liquid form and they would put it in the baby oil. But with baby oil, that's oil. So who's to say that it still will really mix together? I don't know how they did it, but she said that it was not no drugs in the baby oil. She said it was never any drugs in the baby oil. So that was new too. So I don't even remember who came up with the whole drugs in the baby oil thing, but she said it wasn't none in there. So it's almost all these things is making him look good. It's making him look good. I know the BB was vicious. Girl, she said that she had some, well, she didn't say anything else. She just said UTIs. She said her UTIs were so bad that antibiotics didn't even work no more. So, if that didn't work, it didn't work for nothing else. And they did not use condoms or nothing because it was one of the workers that said that he didn't get paid what he was supposed to get because he wouldn't do the happy ending. But he said the reason why he said he faked it to get his whole check was because he had submitted his paperwork to show that he didn't have any STDs. But Cassie never submitted hers. Now, keep in mind, if I was him, I would feel that same way. You sitting up here having relations with 4 or 5 different men a day, and nobody ain't using no condoms or nothing. Girl, I don't know how Cassie did it. I really don't know. It ain't that much love and manipulation in this world. That's why I said that 20 million was not worth it. So y'all in the comments tell me, would y'all go through all what she went through for 20 million after 10 years? Would y'all go through that? So you got the 20 million at the end of it, but just think the lifestyle that you lived for the past 10 years. You lived life. You didn't travel around the world. You in the top labels and doing everything. Would you live that 10-year lifestyle, getting all that stuff in between, even though you getting your head busted open and gaseous, but you knew after that 10 years you was gonna get 20 million? Would y'all be willing to live that life for 20 million? Yes or no in the comments. Let me know. Alondra said hell no. Alondra said hell no. Tia said hell no. I would say hell no. It ain't that. It's just not that much in the world. And while she was going through that, she started dating her now husband, Alex Fine. When Diddy found out about this, keep in mind, she's telling him that her and Diddy ain't together no more. But Diddy's paying for him to be her trainer. So when Diddy finds out about her and him, he's telling him he want his money back. That's the picture that they were painting to Cassie today. Basically, that she was a willing worker and that she would go from man to man and then go back to Diddy, that they were both dope fiends on drugs, and that Diddy would only beat her up when he was on drugs. He was on drugs all those years. And when he would come down off of them, he would be irate. I said, just being funny, I wish I could have been the IV nurse. Like, y'all gonna need IV hydration after all this stuff. And I would have been right over there like, hey, I'm Rashonda, y'all IV nurse. Call me back tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'll be on speed dial. I'll be on coffee, y'all. Because y'all had to have IV hydrations after this. I would have been an IV nurse for sure. And I'll bring extra bags for other people that you might need. Sir, I'll be there. I'll be on call for y'all. Let me see what Sophia said. They came after him on severe ties with whatever alcohol he was promoted. Then all hell broke loose. Him raised and multiple accusations appear. No, all money isn't good. I wonder did anybody else try to help her. She haven't said nothing so far, and they said tomorrow they have to be done with her. They have to be done cross-examining her tomorrow because she is 8 months pregnant. She's due at the beginning of June, the first week of June. So they want her to be finished. I just feel bad that even though she did want to do it, it probably still is a bad place in her life, and she got to relive that while she's pregnant and all that stuff. I still feel bad for her because it's just a lot for a woman to have to go through. I think so, Sophia, too, with this comment that you said, he started feeling himself too much. Remember, he was in with the, what's the name of that tequila? Not the Ciroc, because we found out that he didn't own Ciroc. He was just a promoter for that. The tequila he had, that was his and another man's tequila together. He tried to sue that man because he was saying something about they wasn't promoting him right or something like that. How you gonna sue somebody that you a partner with? And then it seemed like after that, it went all downhill. Like I believe that they have upper powers in that community. They have powers to be and all that stuff. And he pissed somebody off, and that was it. Already they don't want black people on the top like that. So the black people that they do give the little power that they do, and you had a lot of power, Diddy, because you got away with a lot of shit all your life. They let you have that power, and then you overstepped your boundaries, and then they taking you down a notch or two. I still don't feel, even though it's 4 days into this, I don't think that they have proven their case about sex trafficking and RICO cases. This is more a DV case to me. So right now, I feel like he would get off. He would get off on those RICO charges and all that. But I did listen to somebody else, and they said as far as the sex trafficking, they can get him on that because he was paying people and they was flying from different states. But then I think, what about when people do porn movies? They flying into wherever they doing it and they doing it. So why is that not the same thing? Then somebody said because you got to sign a contract. So if Diddy would have had them sign a contract and say, "Oh, you're coming to do this freak off and it's going to be a movie," he wouldn't have had these cases. I also feel like, would Cassie be considered a co-defendant? This is just me wondering and just not understanding everything, because she is the one setting everything up, but they saying, "Oh, she's using Diddy's money," but she's the one that's doing it. So I just don't understand everything that's going on, and I don't understand how this is a sex trafficking case, a RICO case, because everything that they're showing right now is DV related. And tomorrow they will finish cross-examining Cassie. That has to be her last day. They got to be done. And I think they said next week it'll be the members, two members of Danity Kane, Don and Aubrey. They supposed to be coming to testify against him. So we're gonna see how all this goes. So every day when they have the court, I'm gonna try to do a live and do a recap for y'all. But that's what happened today. I would say Diddy's defense team did a very good job today, painting him as just a swinger lifestyle and making it as Cassie as a willing worker. They did that today. They did that today. But yesterday, like I said, the government did a hell of a job painting Diddy as a monster. So it right now it's just like 50-50. We'll see how it goes. Tomorrow we'll go from there. They probably gonna question her some more about being jealous and everything. I want to see what they gonna say more about Kim Porter, or if the girl Gina is gonna come up. We have to really see. Let's see. It's funny how they shame a victim to make them no longer a victim but a conspirator. Yep, because they did that. I mean, when I say they did that well today, because I'm telling you, I start signing Cassie. I'm like, oh, girl, I was all crying for you yesterday. And now it's like, Cassie, okay. But I still can understand how she could have still been manipulated with her being so young. But she did say at the beginning, like I told y'all before, she did say that she wanted to do it. She said it plenty of times that she wanted to do it. This is my mom. I don't know what she want to say. I know it's something about it. Hold on. Yes, mommy. My mama said she's on Diddy's side. Why, mommy? Let's see if y'all can hear her.
I'm so Diddy. I'm a female. Yes. Wait, no. Wait a minute. This is okay. Okay, what's the definitions in the other ladies? Are you listening?
I am listening, but everybody. Could y'all hear mommy put yes or no in the comments? We're listening, mommy.
Okay. Well, what about the people? Oh God. Thank you. As I was saying. Okay, what somebody else is talking.
Mommy, that's you talking, and somebody in your background. Say what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Well, what is the people that he's getting? Okay, I'm listening. Well, what is that when someone what is he getting charged for?
He's getting charged for sex trafficking in a RICO case.
Okay, I don't know what RICO case is.
A RICO case is when somebody is a conspiracist and they are like, it's like a business and you have people under you that's you running a criminal enterprise. A criminal enterprise.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well, what's sex trafficking?
They got him on sex trafficking.
How can he be sex trafficking?
Mommy, I'm telling you right now, you have to listen. They got him on sex trafficking. They said because they were hiring those sex workers and they were flying them from different states. That's sex trafficking, they say.
But I thought sex trafficking, It's when you're taking people against their will.
That's what we all thought, but it is. But they're trying to say that they were. That's why everybody is saying they think that he'll beat the case because it to them, to us, it's not sex trafficking because they're flying over and they're getting paid and they know what they're coming for. But they said because they're flying them over different states and then they're having sex, that's sex trafficking.
Well, they grown. They can do what they want.
Yeah, they are grown. They could do. That's how everybody feels like they're grown. They can do what they want. But the state, the government is saying that it's sex trafficking. To us, we don't feel like it's sex trafficking either because sex trafficking to us is somebody doing something against their will. Like they're not getting paid and they're doing it against their will. All these people are doing it because they want to do it.
Yeah, they just because he's a black man.
Hi, Nikki. Okay, so mommy, that's what happened. So mommy, okay, mommy, bye, mommy.
Right.
So mommy says she's on Diddy's side because it's not sex trafficking and they are grown people and they know what they're doing. I feel bad. I feel bad for Diddy's mom and kids. That's a hard pill to swallow and watch. Laugh out loud. I told you she was on fire. Okay, and I said that too. I said yesterday, well, the first day on Monday, I feel like his kids should not be there. Not really the boys, but the girls, I don't feel like they should be there because that is too much. But then somebody brought up, I seen on social media, why should they not be there? His twins and the other daughter are 17. He started messing with Cassie when she was 19. So they only in 2 years they'll be the age that Cassie was when their dad started messing with, Cassie. So they need to hear these kind of things so they can know what to look for in life when dealing with a man like your daddy. But I still feel like no kid should have to hear what they daddy been doing like that. That's just too much. But they was there like the first 2 days, and some people were saying that they been taking them out on the sexually explicit parts, but the whole thing been sexually explicit. So I don't understand how they get to stay in there at all. So I don't know. I feel sorry for the kids too. The mama, no, because I'm pretty sure she knew what her son was doing. That mama wasn't in the dark. But the kids, I don't think the girl should have been in there. Alondra said he's running a crime enterprise based on how he stole all that money from them artists. But they didn't say that, Alondra. They didn't say that that's why he's doing that. But that is true. He stole a lot of money from them artists because he gave them horrible record deals and he's still living off of all his artists. So you are right about that. But they did say he was running a criminal enterprise. Alondra said, hey, Nikki. Hey, Alondra. She said new rules, new government, new everything. Yeah, because if this was anybody else, it wouldn't have been went down like this. Y'all know the people. It's too and I'm mad because I didn't think about this earlier. It's two white men that have the same charges that P. Diddy got right now, and they own a popular clothing store. I just cannot think of it. And they literally have the same charges as Diddy right now. And it has not been televised or nothing at all. They just only said that those men had got arrested, but they have not said nothing else. I mean, when I say they got the same charges as Diddy, the same exact charges, but they're white. We ain't heard nothing about that case or nothing. The same exact charges. He still needs to be locked up. I think that he needs to be locked up, but not for sex trafficking in a RICO case. He needs to be locked up for all the other horrible things that he has done to people. Not for this, for everything else he has done. I feel like this was just, like they said, a swinger's lifestyle on steroids. But he should be locked up for other stuff. He should have been locked up for the stuff he did. But he was able to get away with things because he was in that circle. If somebody called the police on him, like when he banged the man in the studio, when the police came, they put a whole different incident report in there and everything. He never got in trouble for nothing that he did. He never got in trouble for nothing that he did. He should be in jail for all different things. She said, agreed, Nikki. Honestly, I feel they knew. Yeah, they knew. They knew. They said nothing. You can't tell me they didn't beat Cassie when she was at the home with them. Well, he's saying that the kids didn't know, and she said that too, that he would say all the time if he did beat her up, he would tell her, and his kids came over, go put some makeup on your face because my kids can't see you like that. So maybe he never did it while they was around. And I do believe that because I've talked to a lot of people that said that they were in relationships like that and the abuser would not abuse them around their children. It was when they were gone. So that could be true. And she said that a lot. She said that more than once, that when his kids would come around, he would make her put on makeup or he would just send her away. Send her away for a week or something so she can heal up or whatever, and then she could come back around. But she couldn't be around his kids and have those bruises and stuff on her. So I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I promise if he gets free, watch your daughters, nieces, sons, and nephews. I think if he gets free, which I low key, well, we gotta wait because this could go for 8 weeks. I think that he would probably have learned his lesson a little bit because I don't think he ever thought he would be locked up for this. He was too cocky. Look at how he act. He was too cocky. I do not ever think that he thought that he would be in jail. Just think how hard he was trying to get out on bail, and he probably was just too through that he couldn't get out on bail. Putting up, saying how much money he was gonna get put up, and they were saying no, you a threat to society, which I think that he was because he would have been messing with witnesses, which he still can do now, but him being out would have been worse. And it makes me think, was he really doing this stuff to Young Miami, or was Young Miami lying? Or sometimes men change. Like sometimes men do certain things to some women that they wouldn't do to others. My Young Miami has said he didn't do that stuff to her. He didn't hit her. And I low key kind of believe her because she would be talking slick to him and everything. But they said Cassie did, so I don't know. But some men treat other women different. And he said he was in his love phase in the last parts of his life. He was in his love phase. Like he wasn't in that dark space anymore. But they did say that Diddy and Young Miami used to be doing that pink powder or whatever they called it. Paducey, pink Paducey or whatever. So who knows? Who knows what she was going to, who knows? She said Usher and Justin Bieber should be testifying because they were minors. We don't know if they got to testify or not, though. We don't know. We don't know if they got to testify because I do feel like Justin Bieber, he knows some stuff. Look how he acts now. Something happened to him, and it's like something happened to him a long time ago, and he just ain't said nothing. Something happened to him. And remember, Usher said that too. They asked Usher, he said a lot of wild things went on when I was with Diddy at that little camp I was at. And they asked him, would you let your sons go there at their age? And he was like, hell no. Hell no. I would not let my sons go. Usher said that. Okay, if they let Diddy get off, then R. Kelly needs to be free. They both abuse their powers to hurt women. I feel that that's true too. But Diddy had more power than R. Kelly. If we want to keep it 100, Diddy had more power than R. Kelly. The only thing I could say about Diddy, I mean about R. Kelly is we know that R. Kelly was abused, and abused people hurt people. It's just a cycle thing. A cycle thing. So I would say that about R. Kelly, which I ain't saying that he's right because I am a number one R. Kelly fan and I feel that he's sick too. He was a sick man. But I don't feel like if they let Diddy off, they should let R. Kelly off. It's different. It's just R. Kelly didn't have the power that Diddy had. That's just period point blank. But I feel like R. Kelly's the parents that was feeding their daughters to R. Kelly, they asses need to be in jail. But that's a whole different story. He shouldn't be in that jail cell by himself. The parents need to be in there too. Well, Alondra, R. Kelly got off 3 times. He did, Nikki. He sure did. He did. Before they got him. You are absolutely right, Nikki. He got off. And it's like you got off that many times and you still keep doing stuff. So you right, Nikki. He got off 3 times. And like I said, I love R. Kelly down to the ground. Still listen to his music and everything. And right is right and wrong is wrong. And he was sick. R. Kelly is a sick man. And he did have all those chances. That's true, Nikki. I mean, it's the same charge as, yeah, it's the same. It is the same charges. It's the exact same charges. It's the exact same charges. I was trying to think if it was different, but it's the exact same charges. Bro, please let me remind you of R. Kelly. He got off 3 times each time he got worse. No, I'm saying I'm with you, Nikki. I feel that's what I'm saying. R. Kelly is in there because he didn't have the power that P. Diddy has, but he did. You did remind me of that. And I don't feel like he should be out. I feel like he needs to serve his time, but I do think he didn't need to get that much time that they gave him. Because that's keeping 100. Most of the men in the music industry is doing the same thing that Diddy is doing and R. Kelly doing too, but they not so bold to be recording it and doing all that stuff. Let's keep it 100. It's plenty of celebrities that was at them F-offs that will probably come out later on and they don't want it to come out, but that's a lifestyle. I'm pretty sure that all those celebrity dares was sniffing and doing everything else because they wanted to. He didn't make them do that. They wanted to do that. So that's why I'm saying they have Diddy in there on the wrong charges to me. They're making it like a DV case instead of a RICO and sex trafficking case. Um, Diddy is not gay. I never said that he was gay, but the stuff that he does is he could be bisexual. I think he's bisexual. I don't think that he's full gay, but I think that he's bisexual. Period, point blank. That man ain't just all the way straight. For him to want the men to have a happy ending on Cassie and then he wanted their milk, I'll just say, their happy ending milk off of Cassie and he wanted Cassie to put it on his nipples. If that ain't gay or bisexual, that's disgusting. I don't even know if that's gay or not. You know, it's just nasty. It's nasty. That shit is nasty. Hurt people hurt people. Yep, that's what I said. Hurt people hurt people. I really despise how society tears women apart when they finally say something, then wonder why women stay quiet for so long. They are never protected the way that they should be. That is true, Alondra. That is very true. I just wish, I don't know how women could do it because I do understand it more. I understand it more now. But I don't think people are tearing Cassie down. But after hearing both sides, I feel that she is not as innocent as she made it seem. Like she still was a willing participant. I do feel like she was a victim for being beat on like that, but I do understand what you mean that when women come forward that they are not treated the same. But just think how men are. When men come forward now, how they treated. They treated the same way. They call gay and everything when they come forward. Um, yep. Then they get mad. Then they get mad when they get paid. And like I said, I feel like Cassie earned that 20 million on everything I love. She earned that. But you didn't have to go through that, even if you wanted to or not. You earned that. You didn't earn to be getting beat up and stuff like that. So she earned that 20 million. She earned that. But it's a lot of women that are doing money grabs now. Case in point, Shannon Sharp, which he fell for the okie doke. I don't even feel sorry for him. He fell for the okie doke. It's a lot of women that are doing money grabs now, and I feel like some of these cases, these women should not be able to do it. I feel like they shouldn't be able to do it. They should not be able to do it. As soon as they break up with them, then they want to get the top lawyers and get paid. Let's talk about Lil Wayne's fiance. She said he broke up with her on Mother's Day, kicked her and her daughter out. Now she want to find the top lawyer because she want to get paid for her pain and suffering. They should not be able to do that. Girl, if he wouldn't have kicked you and your daughter out, you wouldn't even be saying this. But now that he kicked you and your daughter out, now he did X, Y, and Z to you, and you need the top lawyer so you can get paid. A lot of these women are doing money grabs nowadays. So it make it bad for the women that really are hurt. But what I will say is, I feel like if you're going to do a civil case and get paid, that you should, after you do that civil case, you should have to do a criminal case. I do not feel like you should just get paid and just get to ride out into the sunset. you should have to do a criminal case after that. Because are you okay with him doing that as long as you got paid? You shouldn't want him to do that to nobody else. So you should want him put away. So I feel like after they do their civil case, they should have to do a criminal case. I think that that's fair. You shouldn't be able to just do it like that. And women shouldn't just be able to just, I think it's unfair. He needs mental health. Nope, I changed my mind. He needs to meet the volcano. I don't know. But that's it for today. I didn't even think I was gonna stay on here this long tonight, y'all. I said I was gonna be on here for 30 minutes. And here I am on here for 55 minutes. So tomorrow, after Cassie does her part tomorrow and is cross examined again, I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. I'm gonna come on at 6:30, you guys. I'm gonna try to do every day at 6:30. I don't want to do it too late because a lot of people be sleeping stuff. So I think 6:30 is a good time for everybody. So y'all make sure everybody that's watching this live, make sure y'all go press like right now, please, y'all. Please press like. Yes, Nikki, that would be poetic justice. Yeah. He needs somebody. I wish somebody could do him how he did them. Everybody that he did wrong. So I'll see y'all tomorrow at 6:30. And we're gonna talk about what happens tomorrow after they cross-examine Cassie tomorrow and whoever else they bring on. Like I said, I'm gonna do it every day after record date. He deserved it. He's too damn old to be so damn stupid. He set himself up. Yes, he did. They tend to forget that they are melanated. They think they can do what non-melanated folks do. No consequences.
Please get my other sock.
Okay, go get it. You're about to take a bath. Yeah. So I don't feel no ways tired for none of them. Shannon Sharp, I don't feel no, but you deserve that. You let a 19-year-old set you up. She told you that she was not going to sign that NDA. She's sitting up there talking to you like she on the yellow bus, and you stand on the phone talking to her. You let her play the hell out of you. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you. New world, new rules, new government. Say that again. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 6:30. Make sure y'all go press the like right now. And thank you guys for tuning in. Good night.
Good night.
I'm your